Welcome to the exciting and new mini podcast. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Brian, with special guest
Connor.
Let's do it.
Anybody watch anything good?
I watched a bunch of stuff. I feel like I watched a lot of stuff.
Anything good?
Yeah, some of it was good. Some of it was bad. How about I kick it off with, hold on, recently watched, boom. Oh, I watched Dahmer. The series Dahmer.
At Netflix?
Yeah.
Thing? Okay.
Not to spoil anything.
Did he do it?
Obviously, you know the story. It's out there. Ryan Murphy did it. So American Horror Story fans.
Really?
Yeah. He, Evan Peters plays.
I knew he played him, yeah.
He plays Jeff Dahmer. And yeah, it's a fun story. I mean, pretty graphic. And I enjoyed it. I recommend that if you're into that. If you're into like that kind of like documentary,
how many
kind of
episodes?
like it was 9. Was it 9? Something like that. 8 or 9. I think.
Did they try to humanize him?
No.
Okay.
I mean, but there's a couple points where you're like, oh, I feel bad for him a little, like, because there's things you know that it's happened.
He was abused as a child or something like that.
So you're like, and you're like, oh, maybe
You
that
get-
didn't happen.
You get abused as a child. You're allowed to eat some of your neighbors, right? That's how it goes.
How many? I think it's 3
3
per,
to 1, yeah.
I'm surprised you used fun as a descriptor.
Yeah, I was
for
like,
that
should I be
series.
using that as a description of this movie?
I know I saw something on Twitter about people not realizing it was a real story. Like, it's not
Wait, thinking that this was just
just a show.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can't wait for season 2 or something like that. Like, I don't know. Is season 2 where he goes to jail and don't they kill him with a...
season 1 ends a little different for him to end up having the season 2.
I mean, does he die in prison in the end of the... Did they show his death?
yeah,
Oh,
you get
okay,
all
so
that,
then
yeah.
there's no season 2. Didn't he have
That's what I'm
a...
saying. That'd be a weird season.
He was
2.
like a dick in prison, right?
And didn't he have like a...
They showed him as a dick, but then I read online that he wasn't so much as a dick as they made him to be on the show. They made it
Like,
they
how are you a
exaggerated
dick
it a
in
lot,
prison
yeah.
as a cannibalistic murderer? Do you like lick your lips every time you walk
Well,
by?
I guess
someone?
the
Like,
guy that
tastes
killed
yummy.
him, he said that like he was always creeping him out.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Didn't he have like a plunger shoved up his ass or something like that? Isn't that
Yeah,
like how
I
they
think
found him?
I think it was a broom.
Broom,
That happened.
broom, yeah.
That happened first. That didn't kill him. He got. Into
Oh,
it.
really?
I think that happened. He got assaulted once, and then I think he got then the murder.
I thought that's how they
obviously.
found him
I
dead.
think I might be wrong now though, but yeah. Did you see that? Did you watch it?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
But he follows his exploits.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'd give that a thumbs up. So I would recommend that. What about you, Andy?
I saw Top Gun Maverick on something.
Who's in that?
Miles Teller and
John Hamm.
Val
right?
Kilmer, John Hamm, and Ed Harris for a little bit.
Okay.
Jennifer Connelly.
All these people are still alive.
This was made like in the last year or so, yeah.
Well, actually, this one was made a while ago.
Well, it was
Remember how long
2019, right? It was supposed to
yeah.
come out before COVID, yeah. But this movie with Tom Cruise, flying ships, flying planes.
No, I never saw the first one.
I don't know if you really need to. There's a little backstory
neither.
from the first one that you probably need to see, but this movie was awesome. It was so well done. It looks so good.
It's funny that you said it because everybody that I know that has seen this movie has had nothing but praise.
Yeah.
I said it's absolute. Like people coming out of it like that don't even like really talk movies or anything like that, and they're just like they can't believe it.
There are no slow
just-
spots.
yeah,
it
it's
just goes from one to the next, and it just keeps going. I mean, there's some things that I read somewhere. I mean, one of the premises at the very beginning of the movie is that he's got to get his plane to Mach 10, which I was like, what's that, like 150 miles an hour or something like that? That's like 7,500 miles an hour. He's got to get his plane to. And at one point, someone ejects at that speed and lands safely with the parachute. I read somewhere after the fact that if you eject out of your plane going Mach 10, it would basically turn you into spaghetti as you shot out of your canopy, but whatever. So they used a little license there, but good movie. Tom Cruise was great in it.
on a scale, our scale that we use for our movies. what would
Oh,
you give
it's
it?
like an 85.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd watch it again for sure. I'm kind of disappointed I didn't see it in the theater. It's that kind of movie. It's big and loud. And
You saw it, right?
I saw it when it came
what'd you
out
think?
in theaters.
This is
I thought
the
it
one
was-
guy that's going to say he didn't.
No,
like it.
I thought it was good. I mean, I don't think it's like movie of the year like a lot of people have said, but I think what really carries it compared to the first movie, I feel like the stories are about the same quality, but the practical effects and the jets and the sound design, visuals, everything.
What would you give it as a score?
Probably 75, 80, something like that. Like all the visual effects of this movie were like absolutely out of the park. They were phenomenal.
And that is something that makes you, knowing that Tom Cruise is really flying these planes and stuff like that, makes you.
He's got to make a movie in space, right?
Well, I think he's actually.
doing
I
that
think he
right
said
now.
he wanted to do that. Yeah, like he wants NASA to send him up there. Maybe Elon will send him
pretty
up there.
cool.
Just be like,
That is cool.
all right, what do you got, Brian? I was gonna call you Brady there. I don't know what happened. I've had a half.
You had the
I've had
BR. It was
They look the same now,
I've had a-
apparently.
You said BR and then he had a stroke. Right?
had a little bourbon already, but not that much. Not enough to slur.
My show is on Netflix. It's called A Korean Odyssey. In 2017, Sun Oh-gong and Ma Wang are in conflict with each other, and they look for a true light in a dark world where evils exist everywhere.
It's a series.
It's a series.
Is it a horror series? Is it horror?
Kinda. I mean, the
Spiritual.
the
Seems
effects are good, but they're implemented poorly.
Okay.
Is it? It's not. It's a live action. It's not animated.
It's live action, yeah.
Are you doing an unrecommend then, or?
I don't know if I recommend it yet.
Oh, okay.
How
I don't
many
know
have
if
you
I'm gonna
watched?
I am just in the middle of the third, but they're like an hour and 15 minutes long.
That's a commitment.
That
Hour
is.
15.
Yeah.
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 Push it when you get to an hour. That's when I'm like, the show has to really be good if I'm going to do an hour long.
True.
I'm going to give it the hour long
It's kind of,
subscription.
it's like deities fighting each other with humans. And
I'm guessing there's no
Plain.
stars in it that we know of or have heard, or
um,
don't come at me with like, Sharon Chapin.
Lee Sung-gi and Sung Won Cha are the leads.
Yeah.
And then Yoon Si-oh.
So
is
basically,
the
my
All right,
female lead.
were they in Parasite or Bullet Train or something that you could point me to that I might have seen?
That's
That
what I said.
I
It's
think
not anything that we
Jang
know,
Gwang was in something because he looked familiar.
Thanks for the background that you did on this.
Mental notes, man.
He actually had this
I was
pulled up,
surprised.
right?
Yeah.
Are you not going to mention your other one, or is that?
Well, no, you
we're
can
gonna
go.
go around,
We'll go
yeah.
around
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Jason's got like 17 things, so
Okay,
we got to
cool,
break
cool.
Jason up a little bit. You can go, Connor.
Awesome. So,
Yeah,
I
so
guess I'll
just give one for now and then save some. Yeah.
I'll start with my positive, which is going to be Primal by Gendy Tartakovsky. I
The
believe is
Adult Swim cartoon?
correct.
Oh, man. I love that. That's awesome.
And I am in the middle of season 2. I'm on episode 6 out of 10, and it's 2 seasons and finished, according to Gendy.
Mhm.
He's going to do another series that's in the same world, but it's not going to follow the same characters. But this series is awesome.
Yeah,
Like, it
yeah.
kicks
Love it.
so much ass.
What's it called?
Primal. It's
What's-
the guy that did
it's on
Samurai
Cartoon
Jack and,
Oh, yeah, you
the
were
original
saying you were
Clone
going to
and the
watch
Clone
that.
Wars, the
Yeah.
original Star Wars Clone Wars.
It's on Cartoon Network.
But it's like a caveman and his
it's on Adult
Oh,
Swim.
yeah, is there a
and
dinosaur?
dinosaur
That's
dinosaur
kinda
buddy.
what I
It
Yeah.
streams
But-
on HBO Max.
okay.
Super violent and not a lot of dialogue. I mean, none really.
I don't
but,
think there was a
yeah.
single word.
Some grunting.
I think there was one word uttered in the entire first season. But like surprisingly, like the characters, at least the main 2 characters, Spear and Fang, are like they have a lot going on with them for no dialogue in the show.
Yeah, it's
And
really well done.
and the animation, the visuals, spectacular. Have nothing but praise for this show. So
And it's
far.
on the second season, and then it's supposed to be
The
finished after
second
that.
season just ended in September.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second season.
Yeah.
But
You watched the first season?
First season's great, yeah.
So far, I'd say the second's even better than the
And
first
they're
season.
short too. They're not half-hour
20
episodes,
minutes.
right? Yeah, okay, 20 minutes.
Yep.
Good stuff.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I haven't seen the first season, so. So I guess that comes back to me, right?
Is that your whole list?
This is things I've watched since June.
Thank God.
Yeah.
It's like, my God, you
Nah.
got like 100 things there.
No, yeah, because like the
You're
things
the one.
on here.
Are you keeping track of what you've watched?
Yeah, I like to do that. Yeah,
Oh,
and this helps me for what I bring up on this too.
So when they find the bodies, they can
Yeah.
go back and look at your phone and be
See,
like,
so he watched this. That's where he got that idea. I watched the new Halloween movie on Peacock. Halloween Ends.
Oh.
And I do not recommend that piece of shit. Absolute garbage.
I have no follow-ups for that. I saw the first one, like the 2018 Halloween. I didn't watch the sequel yet,
Yeah.
so
absolute garbage. I'm not really going to go into it, but
Did you watch the sequel, the Halloween
I
Kills?
watched them. Yep.
And was that good?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I'm a completist, so I figured I would give it this Halloween Ends before they reboot it, because they're going to fucking reboot it.
I thought this was the last one.
With the last one with Jamie Lee Curtis, yeah. But
you
now you
didn't
got to
tell
have
the
it
next
with
time.
somebody else.
Did
So,
she shout all her lines from the bathroom?
pretty much. I think she was on set for like maybe 2 days, probably.
Why do you
and,
say
like,
from the
shot all her
bathroom?
lines.
Because she eats all that yogurt.
Activia.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Activia, right?
She's always taking adult poops.
This episode has been brought to you by Activia.
Everybody here except Connor should probably be eating that.
I haven't obviously seen any of the Halloween movies except like the original one a long time ago, but I was reading up on this movie and I've seen multiple reports saying, for better or worse, it's swinging for the fences with new ideas. Is that at least accurate?
Yeah, that's why I said it had some great ideas that would have been perfect for another horror movie. Like if you put that into this movie over here with a new idea, maybe, rather than just a 75-year-old Jason or excuse me, Michael Myers.
75-year-old Michael's is Danny McBride still involved? Was he involved in this one?
I believe he was a writer.
Okay, because I remember he was like one
producer or writer.
He was one of the big names that they attached to the first one that he was going to be involved.
And I think that one of the writers or his partner, he committed suicide or something. I think I'm not sure. I could have the wrong story there, but
damn,
cut that.
Is it because he has to work with Danny McBride?
Danny.
I'm hit and miss with Danny McBride. I mean, like sometimes he's great, like in Righteous Gemstones, but sometimes he's not.
He's good in the baseball one that he did.
Eastbound and Down.
Oh, Eastbound and Down was good too.
This is
really
the end. I thought he was funny in that one too.
That was good. I like that movie. Yeah.
Maybe he's more hit.
So that's a non-recommend.
A non-recommend. Why don't you do a recommend? Since you've got so much stuff.
Oh, recommend. I recommend The Northman.
Yes.
I recommend The Northman. That's streaming on.
It's got to be Amazon Prime because I see it all over my Fire
I think
Stick.
you might be right. Yeah.
Is that the funny one?
I don't think it's a Viking thing.
Oh,
isn't
Northman. That's the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What were you thinking?
I don't know. There's a funny Viking show on.
I think I know what you're talking about on HBO Max. Yeah.
It might be on HBO Max.
I think Martin Freeman might be involved, isn't it? Is he in it? Or somebody's in
that show actually might be called like just Northman.
Something to flag, something with flags.
Oh, no, that's another
Yeah,
one.
I've heard of that.
Those are pirates.
Okay, that's the pirate
This
one.
flag means death.
That's it. Yeah. That's what I was thinking of. But so I recommend that, The Northman.
Connor, you recommending it also? You said yes when you said
I saw that opening night, I think, when that came out a while back.
Oh, that was a theater movie?
Nicole Kidman's in it. I'm not a Nicole Kidman fan. She didn't bother me in this. So I allowed it. Your buddy was also in it.
Ethan Hawke?
Ethan Hawke, yeah.
He bothers me most of the time.
He seems like he's in everything.
I love Ethan Hawke.
Every other thing he's in this.
I went to high school
I just
with
saw
him.
he was going to be in a
I
new, like a big movie, a big series.
He was in
Black Phone.
the Disney
He
one.
did the Black
the
Phone,
Marvel
yeah.
one.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Well, that sucked. He wasn't the reason why it sucked. It was just that story was so confusing.
I liked it.
Moon Knight, did you really?
Yeah.
Wow, man. Maybe someday you can sit me down and explain to me what the hell happened in that thing.
It's difficult to understand.
I liked it, but I didn't like that it happened in Marvel's world.
I agree. I mean, the problem with Marvel now is that they're introducing all these gods and stuff. Like, where was everybody before 2008, man?
At least they kept Moon Knight separate. Like, it's in the MCU, but they weren't like, here's Iron Man. And he just like flies out of nowhere and punches some like Egyptian dude in the face. Like it was a contained story so far. And I think they plan to keep it that way because Oscar Isaac said like a big contingency of him doing Moon Knight was that he wanted it to be its own unique story and it wasn't attached to the like MCU like everything else. So that's at least a good sign for season 2 since they're working on that now.
Oh my God. I might not watch that.
I have 2 more things if you want. One's a recommend, one's a non-recommend.
I have 3 other things on my
one's a
things
maybe.
that
So, all right, then I'll let you go. Go ahead.
I mean, speaking of Marvel, I finished She-Hulk. I don't know if anybody watched
I finished She-Hulk as well.
Cool.
Yes.
I really enjoyed that.
I thought it
did
was
too. I
great.
thought it was
Yeah.
really good.
It was
I mean,
a lot of
like
fun.
it was didn't take itself too serious.
A lot of fourth wall breaking.
We got Daredevil back in the MCU, or I guess he's been in the MCU because those Marvel shows count.
Lots of innuendos.
Yeah. I mean, Jennifer Walters is a little whore. Like she was like sleeping with a lot of guys on that show.
Yeah.
And that's not fair to say. Tony Stark probably slept with a lot of women, and I wouldn't call him a whore.
I thought it was done really well. Very fun. Very. The episodes were like 30 minutes at the longest at times, so you didn't have to really sit through too much. But
that ending, I was kind of like, I wasn't sure about that ending, and then they ended the ending, and I was like, oh. Well, that's weird. It was almost like she was reading my mind, and then they did whatever they did. It was so funny because as soon as it started happening, I was kind of like, "Wow, man!" I'm like, I'm not on board here.
Like, is this what we're really going here? None of these make sense. None of these stories even make sense.
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
And I read somewhere that the whole NDA signing thing is like a real thing with Kevin Feige.
Oh, probably, yeah. And that the guy that shows up at the end with the other guy at the picnic there, like that's like I think they're going movie with that because that's a real story in the MCU. Okay. Like that whole how that guy became a thing. Like
you don't want to spoil it. Is that what you're not saying?
Yeah, but you know who I'm talking about.
I know. I just didn't know. I was like, is that too much of a spoiler if you said it? You think? Or
yeah, you should probably watch it and see for yourself. Yeah. But I think they're going to make it, and that's going to be a movie. What happened in between?
It's not announced yet, though. But that's what you think.
I think.
Yeah. What
do you got, Brian? Anything else?
Oh yeah, I got two more things. Oh, well, actually, She-Hulk was going to be one of them, but
sorry,
replaced with House of the Dragon.
oh yeah, I do. I have something to say about that too. But I finished the show that I talked about, Extraordinary Attorney Woo.
Yeah,
and it's a great show. Like it was.
Remind us again, what exactly was that one?
It's an autistic girl who becomes a lawyer and joins a big law firm in Korea. And then she finds out her mother.
You just watch solely Korean TV?
Do you VPN into Seoul?
No, this was right
on Netflix Korea.
This is right. I don't know. It popped up for me, and it must have had a reason to pop up for me.
I'm sure. It said Korean girls, and it said Brian would love this.
This isn't a sexy Korea show. And I would say it's like it's not this. I have the same respect for it in Korean television as the 100. It is like ranking that high.
I don't understand. He put words together. What did that mean?
It's as terrible as the 100. That's what he's saying, I think.
It was an excellent show.
Mm-hmm. But you compared it to the 100, so now it's dropped like 75 points.
You knew you were going to hurt by saying that. Why was
I'm saying, in my esteemed opinion, if I were to be a Korea person,
a Korea person.
What is it?
A Korea person.
And I would like.
Is that like saying like Chinaman or something like that? Like Korea person.
I'm sure they have a name, but I don't know what it is.
Korean? If you were Korean, is that what you wanted to say?
That's a food.
That's a food? Really? Are you American?
I had Korean.
American food.
So you're recommending this
last week.
You're recommending this, though.
Oh, strongly recommended. Yeah.
What's this on?
Netflix.
I'm out.
I was never more proud of my son than when he got to the second episode of the 100 and was like, I am not watching this show ever again. I was like, good for you.
High five. You're like, that's my boy.
What's that?
When I was a senior in high school, or maybe I was a freshman in college, I had the same reaction. Some girl asked me to watch it. She's like, it's my favorite show. I'm like, oh, okay. And I put it on and I couldn't get to episode 2.
So you had some girl made you watch it. Logan had some girl that made you watch it. I had some girl that made me watch it. And the first episode ended. I was like, no more of that.
I will say, though, I have seen a few episodes of Incredible Attorney Woo. Is it Incredible?
Extraordinary.
Extraordinary, incredible, whatever. But
it's the one with the whales flying around I told you about.
It was pretty it's pretty out there. Like just some of the I don't know if this is Extraordinary Attorney Woo or if this was your other recommend, but there was one scene where there was like, it wasn't like super dramatic, but one of the female characters was like, I never clinked beer glasses with someone before.
That was a Korean Odyssey.
Okay, so
another Korean show.
That was the other.
That was the one that I'm not sure if I'm going to recommend it yet.
Oh, that's his other maybe, but it was just so funny.
No, it's Connor's turn now.
It was just so funny because they finally clinked glasses and I was like, oh. It was just the things they chose to focus on was definitely a culture difference there that I found interesting.
Oh man, you got some great recs this week, man.
The overacting in the Korean Odyssey is insane.
Are they speaking in Korean with subtitles, or are they speaking English, or?
I imagine it's Korean because it's called a Korean Odyssey, but
I thought we were talking about the Incredible
Oh,
They're both
Mr.
Korean.
That takes place in Korea too.
Yep. Are they speaking English or Korean?
Oh no, you can pick either, but they're speaking Korean.
So it's
That's
dubbed.
I love that Steely Dan song, Doctor Wu. Are you with me, Doctor Wu?
So
Go ahead, Connor.
I have two more, but they're both going to be non-anti F this show, whatever you want to call them.
Two non-commendations, something like that. Yeah.
I'll start with the one I saw last night. Oh my god! And I know I am not the demographic or target audience for this movie, but Lyle Crocodile was horrendous.
Isn't that like a cartoon, like a kid's cartoon?
Well, I think it's a kid's book series like Paddington Bear. I actually love the Paddington Bear movie, which I feel like is comparable.
I've heard that was good. Yes,
I actually heard Paddington 2 is a really good movie.
I've heard, I haven't seen the second one yet, but
I've never seen
this
it.
movie was. I couldn't name any of the actors who played the family.
Why
What made you watch it? Yeah.
Carrie and I just wanted to see a movie to use our AMC pass yesterday, and it was the only movie playing early enough that we'd check out. And but Javier Bardem was in it, and he was actually amazing.
And
Like,
he was talking to the crocodile like this.
Exactly. He was like this like really like eccentric magician, and he just seemed like he really enjoyed being like on screen and like doing this performance. But anytime he wasn't there, I was like, oh my god! I actually fell asleep like 3/4 of the way into the movie.
That's always not good.
Carrie woke me up.
Lyle Crocodile.
Yeah.
Oof.
Carrie woke me up a few minutes later, but
So is it a real life people with like an animated
yeah,
crocodile
it's a
kind
CGI,
of thing?
CGI crocodile played by Shawn Mendes, who
Is it a singer?
yeah, he's
Right,
a
yeah.
generic pop singer. There's like 5 of them out there.
I don't think only 5.
They all look the same. They're all cookie cutter.
Yeah, exactly. This isn't really a spoiler. My biggest issue with this movie,
Dude, spoil this movie. I don't think anybody listening to this is going to care about Lyle Crocodile.
the crocodile.
We'll put it in the
There you go.
description.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
This crocodile can sing. That's his shtick. He can't talk. He can sing, but he cannot speak words.
Maybe he has a stutter. I've heard people that stutter can sing, but they can't talk. Like I learned that from a fish called Wanda, so that might not be true.
Just have to have them talk sing-songy the whole time, right?
Oh, actually, Constance Wu was in it. So if you know who that is, she
There we
was
go. We got
one of the
Dr.
family
Wu,
members.
Constance Wu.
Lawyer Wu.
A lot of Koreans.
Lawyer
Today. I don't know if Constance Wu Korean. I don't know.
Are you
Am I
looking
being
at me?
racist?
So
So
my
you
ne-
watch all the Koreans. I don't know.
My next one is not a recommendation or a not recommendation. I watched it. I would like other people to see it too, just so we could discuss it. The new Idris Elba vehicle, Beast.
Oh,
I saw this.
Why won't you give it a review?
No,
you
I'm
can't
just
say if you
I'm
like
just-
it or not?
I don't know if I like it. I don't.
You don't know if you like it or not.
It's one of those movies where I think I need to watch it again or talk to somebody about it.
Did you
because
like it or not?
It's one of those movies I can't say I loved it I think it was a fun movie. I can't say I liked it as like this was so good, it's so realistic because it's not realistic at all.
I think I gave it a 2 out of 5 on like Letterboxd.
So like a C or something
But
like
it
that.
was
That's probably like an F. 2 out of 5 would be a 40.
It
That was
was
a 40? Yeah.
It was
good at
definitely
math.
if you were into the creature features like monster.
It reminded me of like a
movies.
Cujo because that's what I was hoping for. It was a modern day Cujo, but with a lion and it just Elba.
I'll never watch that movie. I just want to know one thing.
He punched it.
Does he punch the
Yeah.
lion in the face?
Yeah.
And what's the next 3 seconds of that movie after he punches the lion in the face? Does that lion just eat him?
The lion's there's all kinds of things happening. The lion's going like this to him. It's like boop boop boop. It's like playing with him at times. It's ridiculous, dude. It's absolutely ridiculous. But I loved it. I loved it at times. I'm like, this is fun.
I thought it started off like actually like a great movie and it was really suspenseful, and then they just had to put in the typical dumbest character choices that ever would have.
His buddy?
like, yeah, and his daughter when like he's like getting the trank gun to like shoot the lion, and she just runs out of the car for no reason and just runs out there to like, I'll just save him myself. I'll just outrun this lion and run through the savannah. To
If people
find
made good
this
decisions
guy.
in movies, a lot of movies
It
would
made
never
me want
get
to go on a
made.
safari. I think that would be really awesome.
It was like the thing is like some of the decisions I was like they would still be in a dire situation if you didn't make this decision. Like the movie still would have progressed with like what was going on. It wasn't like that. It was the catalyst.
I
for what
watched
happened.
Stringer Bell punch a lion yesterday. Stringer Bell.
Is that his name? Stringer Bell?
That's from The Wire. My Wire fans out there.
That's Idris Elba's name on the Wire. Okay.
Yeah. I know it would have been funny. Any Wire fans out there that listen to the podcast, hit me up. Jazoo74 on Twitter, the Jazoo Instagram.
Oh, that was your recommendation to Beast, right?
Yeah.
Connor actually talked more about it.
Maybe recommend.
Yeah. After talking with Connor, I think it's more like one of those movies where it's like, I don't like it, but I want you to watch it. It's better. It's like a Sharknado.
Oh yeah,
but better.
Okay, I'll watch
Brady
it.
and I saw it on a Saturday morning because we had nothing better to do.
Did you have pants on? Or?
Did Brady like it?
Pants stayed on and the socks. But
do you know if Brady liked it or?
I think he kind of felt the same about it.
I was going to say whatever Connor said, Brady said. That's exactly what happened.
It was just like,
Brady, what did you think about that? Why don't you tell me what you thought about it?
It was we just we kind of had just a good time, like laughing at the silly parts, but there's also some parts
exactly.
that
It was fun. You're like, and then other times you're like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
After you.
So I got two more things. One is that I finished the Lord of the Rings series, Ring of Power. Rings of Power? Rings of Power? Rings of Power.
Rings of Power.
Yeah, okay.
Powers Booth?
So it ended, 8 episodes of it. I would say that it's maybe 6 episodes too many. Like I really felt in the
There's
episode
9 episodes
3.
and there's
No,
6 too
8.
many?
It's 8.
8 episodes and there's 6.
Like
so you should've
episode
done 2.
3, 4, 5, 6, you can just feel like the sag of like, oh my God, like the stretching of the story. Oh my God.
Can you believe we're spending $1 billion?
Yeah. And it looked great. It never doesn't look great. It never doesn't look like they spent $1 billion on it, except maybe in the writing room. And again, I don't know.
That's where it always.
But
where it always
I don't.
hurts.
They were handcuffed because they were only allowed to like take from like 7 pages of an appendix or something
paragraphs.
like that. So, although House of Dragon kind of takes the same, they've only taken like paragraphs of a book and made it amazing. These guys took an appendix.
Speaking of that, House of the Dragon, everybody caught up here.
Oh my God,
Correct.
episode 9.
It was insane. That was
Best
so good,
episode
right?
of the season. Yeah.
See, I think
it.
the
It was
worst thing
awesome.
that the Rings of Power could do was go head to head with the House of the Dragon
time,
because it just shows you what good writing can do. Because they're both based on other already written works.
I decided
so, like,
not to watch both at the same time, House of the Dragon and Rings of Power. So I only watched the first episode of Rings.
Yeah, I doubt it would affect my
afterwards.
like. I don't think I would like Rings of Power anymore if I watched it later.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not going to really change.
I don't think it's going to change. But House of Dragon's so good that it just shows you, like, if House of Dragon's like a 9.5, Rings of Power is like a 6. Like, it's like okay. Like, there are parts that are great.
Yeah.
Like when there's elves and dwarves on the screen, it's great. When there are elves and humans on the screen, good Lord, man, who gives a fuck? Like, there's a whole episode where I was like, I don't care about any of the people that are on screen except for the bad guy. I don't care about anybody on this screen. And as they're getting killed and not killed, and hot lava's falling on them, and they're just kind of like walking through it because hot lava doesn't kill people. I was just like, man, I don't care if any of these people die. And there's 2 big reveals at the end that everybody had figured out 7 episodes earlier. And it's the same thing we were talking about earlier with the Watchmen. Like, they have to not tell you who people are so you could be amazed at the end of who people are. And then they tell you and you're like, yeah, well, we knew that because you were angling it that way. You watched the whole thing?
Yes, I did.
What did you think? And I know you were down on it from the start.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely echo pretty much everything you said. I do think that the wargs, the like CGI
The
like
dogs?
I
Yeah.
think they looked really goofy. Like they
Yeah,
looked like
they
a
didn't look
freaking
great. Yeah.
CGI Looney Tunes. Like it was not looking that great. But the other visuals for the most part were good. I think the anything that was computer generated was spectacular. I felt like the armor looked like crap. It looked like foam plastic that they just bought at the ShopRite or something in the kids section. But otherwise, like, I think the pacing was horrendous. Like, I felt like the first 2 episodes, pacing wise, were really strong, and then it was crap all the way until like the end when it picked up again.
Yeah, there are like so many episodes in the middle there where you're just like, if this had been a movie, they would have just yada yada this. This would have been like a 3-minute exposition, be like, hey, I was in Numenor for like a day and a half and I brought the army with me. But instead of that, they show you Numenor for 3 episodes and you're just like walking around town. Bleh.
Go watch The Northman for 2 hours. It's much better story.
I'm sure I'll enjoy that more.
You get so much out of it, and it's only 2 hours, and you get so much.
I'll tell you this much: Game of Thrones or House of Dragons not over yet. Can't wait for next week's episode, and I'm already excited for season 2. I don't care if Rings of Power.
Can we talk about that a little bit?
Sure. But I'm just saying, if it Rings of Power, I know they signed on for 5 seasons, but I'm not first day Rings of Power next year. Like I have to hear 4 episodes in that it's worth watching, or I'm just done with it.
I do want to squeak in a couple last thoughts on Rings of Power. I think that the pacing could have been fixed so easily if the character decisions just made sense. Like, I'm not going to get into heavy spoilers, but like the whole thing with Numenor, that should have been a 1 episode ordeal, and it turned into like 3.5 episodes.
So agree with that.
It was
my God.
Why is this happening for no reason?
That's when I stopped watching.
Yeah, exactly.
How far did you get?
I made it 3.5 episodes.
Yeah, like I'm telling, like that whole middle.
Are you going to go back?
I might.
Don't.
I'm not.
Just watch the last episode, because that was actually the last episode was kind of good. And you might be like, wait, why is this happening? But who gives a fuck? It's happening because it's happening. Just
enjoy it.
Yeah, it's just happening. So you might miss why it's happening, but it just happened.
There's a certain thing that happens with someone who has to hide an item from everyone else, and he just hides it like under the floor where everyone was already at, and it was just like, what? It was like, you should have thrown it in a bush behind the building. That would have been a better spot.
Done anything but what you did.
I know, it was like just horrendous. Some of the characters shouldn't have existed because it just stretches out the story way too much. And the last thing is the whole concept of like trying to make a reveal that everyone knew about. It would have been way more interesting if they gave a perspective, like a little bit throughout the episodes, of being like, we are acknowledging this is who this is. And it's more of, when are people going to find out in the show? That would have been more suspenseful.
And I think that's what they'll do with season 2, now that we know who everybody is, because they can't surprise you. Now they're going to be like, now you know who he is.
Yeah.
What's everybody else going to think about that? But
that's what they should
now I don't give a shit. Now I'm kind of like, well, I know how it ends because I saw Lord of the Rings. And they expect you to have watched Lord of the Rings. They definitely expect you to watch that, because if they had said, you are blah, 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 if you had never seen Lord of the Rings, you'd be like,
blah, blah, blah.
Like, who's that? Like, I've been watching this for 8 episodes. I don't even know who that is. Why are you telling me that?
I didn't know blah, blah, blah was
blah, blah, blah is a
Thanks
main
for
character.
ruining it.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah is a main character. But Game of Thrones, House of Dragon.
It's so good, man.
So good.
And that's another show where, like, the writing is so key, because they've so fast forwarded the timeline there. I mean, you've gone, like, you did a 10-year time jump, then a 6-year time jump, and every time they do a time jump, the first couple of minutes
hung on for so long too, man.
Well, he dropped dead at that wedding, and then was 10 years later, and he was standing up again.
Then finally, those last scenes where you could almost see like his
he was a mummy before he was even a mummy.
You know, like, it was just like,
that show has been. I don't know if they've made any mistakes. I think the end of this last episode was a unforced error, because
what?
I don't know. Am I just going to spoil it? Like, why did she not melt that entire dais? Why did she have that monster scream in her face?
Too, yeah.
And if she's
I know why.
And if she's not on their side, why didn't she just kill them all?
Why?
Because I think she wants to stay neutral. Like, her whole point was she wanted to be neutral.
She's still going to stay
Fuck
neutral,
that.
you think?
Yeah.
Not when she's she's on her dragon.
Yeah.
That's all she wants.
And why would she
She killed all those people coming up, though.
Yeah, she killed all the regular people.
All those innocent people died.
Kristen was freaking out about that, and I said, I was like, nobody died. Not a single person died.
They're all okay. And why would she care about Rhaenyra? Because, like, according to her, she killed her son.
I think she wants them to kill each other, and then she can become the.
Then she should have just melted the whole dais and just been like, "Now I'm queen."
She would have had to fight Rhaenyra.
But she had the big giant dragon, and she would have killed half the. She would have killed half the side, I don't know. I
think
thought that was
she's
a bad
playing-
idea.
She's playing the long game.
She's on the dragon,
strategy-wise.
yeah.
She might be, and I haven't read the
Because-
book that it's based on, so like I don't know if there's an answer. I know there is an
our
answer.
podcast friend Dana, she just got the book. She's going to start reading the book. I don't know how far she got into it, but Dana, if you could hit us up, let us know how far you got in the book.
This book, I think that this is at the very tail end of the book.
Is that A Song of Fire?
This is Fire and Blood.
Yeah,
Fire
because
Blood.
it skipped the original Conquest of Westeros by Aegon. That's where the book starts, I think. So that's
What do you guys think of Aegon?
Shipped all of that.
Oh, man.
Aegon, the Aegon the Second.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just got
yeah.
crowned. You saw it just become. You just see the evil just start flowing through.
It was like Joffrey all of a sudden inhabited his body. I mean, he was raping women and jerking off out his
he's
windows. But
chiseling the kids' teeth and their nails down, and having
And were
like
those
his own
his-
little
were
fight
those
club
his
and
kids?
his own little bat.
Yeah, his
too,
bastards
yeah.
were in there.
oh, spoiler for episode 8 of House of
So
the Dragon.
I have one recommend left.
I have one recommend left too.
My recommend. I just found this on Amazon Prime. All 5 seasons. I watched the first 4 episodes. Season 1. News Radio. Love that show.
That is a great
so
show.
good.
That is a great show.
That's my new show that I'm falling asleep to now. That's the one I'm putting on.
That has
Sleep
an
to.
all-star cast too.
Yep. And it is just so great. 1995 through 99 is when it was. So 5
Do you know that show, Connor? News Radio?
Not- Nope.
That's David Foley from Kids in the Hall, and he runs a news station.
He's the program director.
But it's got Phil Hartman, it's got Stephen Root, it's got Joe Rogan, it's got
Andy
Dick.
Vicky Lewis. Candy Alexander.
Is that the main girl? The only thing she ever did besides that was Liar Liar. She was Jim Carrey's wife in that.
She was
but-
Phil Hartman's co-host there.
yeah, okay. Oh. No, who's the girl that's like David Foley's
Oh, that's
like
Mara
girlfriend?
Tierney. That's the girl
Okay.
from she wasn't she in ER?
Maybe. I never saw you.
But she was in Liar Liar though, yeah.
Okay, that's who I'm talking
No, I'm thinking of the other the African American lady.
Oh, right. Yeah.
She was gorgeous.
Yeah.
I only knew one name from that whole cast.
Really?
They threw out.
And it's
What's
Joe
the-
Rogan?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Correct.
You definitely know who Stephen Root is. He's one of those guys that's
From
been
Barry.
in everything.
Yeah, Barry.
He's Barry's handler.
Oh, okay. That's the only time I've ever seen him before.
No, you
Yeah.
saw. Did you ever see Office Space?
No.
Oh, wow, man.
That might be one you might like.
I just saw a couple of
Did you ever see Dodgeball?
Oh, see if you can dodge a
L
wrench,
for
you can
he's
dodge a
L
ball.
for L for love. That's him. He's L for love.
Gotcha.
I think he was married to a,
cuckold.
what's that?
He was a
I
cuckold.
was gonna say I think he was married to a Korean woman in that.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Yeah, I remember News Radio as being really good, and I remember when Phil Hartman died.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
was murdered by his coked up wife.
Sad.
John Lovitz takes over, right?
I believe.
And I don't think I ever
yeah.
watched it again. I don't think I ever watched a John Lovitz episode.
But yeah,
I
I'm
like
gonna-
John Lovitz.
I'm gonna do the 5 seasons.
Yeah, that's
I'll go
fine.
through it. So yeah, I was excited to see that it was out there. So News Radio, Amazon Prime. That's my
Recommend.
that's my list for this week.
I have one more recommend. Clerks 3.
nice
Kevin Smith.
recommend.
Clerks 3. Oh my God. I cannot recommend this any higher. Like this was a
Wow.
great movie. In fact,
I'm excited to see this
like-
now.
Yeah.
Jay and Silent Bob reboot was good, not great. Like it was
Fan
fun to
service.
see the characters again. This is. Did you see Clerks 2?
Yes.
You saw Clerks 2 at the end of Clerks 2.
I just rewatched it.
They get the quick check back or the quick stop back, whatever the name of the convenience store is. They get that back.
Yeah.
So now this is 15 years later, and Dante and Randall still own the quick check, and Jay and Silent Bob own the video store next door, but they made it a weed store. So that's and they
Nice.
still sell weed outside. Like some guy will come up and be like, no one's running the place inside. He's like, what do you want? What do you want? You know, I want 3 Snoogie roll hand rolls. And, you know, they look around and they pull them out from their jackets, you know, even though it's legal to sell inside their store, they're still selling it outside.
I wonder if they sell at their shop.
Oh, maybe,
because I don't.
maybe.
I mean, I don't know how you could sell the weed here
Nah,
in
you
New
probably gotta have a
Jersey, but
license
I don't know
and
if they.
stuff
I don't know,
like that.
but they have their own. They have their own line. That's why I was wondering how you
but
can do that.
this movie was so much fun. Basically, Randall has a heart attack at the very beginning of the episode movie, and he decides that he's done nothing with his life, so he's going to make his life story. And his life story is Clerks, the original Clerks. So they're going to film Clerks, and it's in black and white, and they brought people back to play the same characters from Clerks,
Awesome.
and it
Oh, I cannot
is so
wait.
much fun. And
I
there
can't wait.
is drama, and it's I don't want to spoil it. Dante's life is not what you would think Dante's life would be. Oh my God, I felt so bad for him.
He's not even supposed to be there today, right?
That comes up at one point, and Michelle was all pissed off. Michelle and I were watching together, and I was jumping every line because I knew where they were going with things. I'm like, he's not even supposed to be here today. And then he would say, I'm not even supposed to be here today.
And Michelle be like, shut up.
Yeah, she's like, really? Do you have to do this? And the answer is
Awesome.
yes.
I can't wait to watch that.
Quick interjection here. So I've never seen any Clerks
I'm
movies.
sure.
I think the only did he do Harold and Kumar?
Nah.
No.
Okay, the only Kevin Smith movie I've seen is Tusk.
Awesome
I was going to say,
movie.
Jason loves that movie.
Awesome movie.
Fucked up movie.
So good.
Definitely. Anyway,
Love that Justin Long
So-
vehicle.
I don't know if you'd be the only one here who would know the answer to this, maybe. So I'm pretty sure, and I think you should leave skit. He's like, I'm not even supposed to be here right now. Is that like a play on like the Clerks line? That's like, 'cause that came to mind when he was saying that.
No, I think that was
That's
just
just Tim Robinson being Tim
Yeah,
Robinson.
yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if he was referencing Clerks possibly.
Similar line, yeah.
Okay.
But Clerks 3 was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
I do want to make one last remark.
Yeah, you and Brian still have your last
I don't-
recommendations.
My last anti-rec was Rings of Power because I really hated that show. And we already went over that. But the last thing I wanted to say, I don't know if this is going to be controversial, but I actually think the new actress for Rhaenyra is better than the original.
Really?
I have grown on her so much. Well, I guess she's they because I think she's trans or they are trans.
She's a they, them, but she's
yeah.
straight because apparently
I don't know.
Dana was talking
I don't
about
know
that the
her
other day at work.
preferences.
Dana was saying that she tweeted a picture of her and her boyfriend. And apparently everybody was all pissed off. Like they thought she was, I guess, a lesbian because she's
She's going to do something fun with it if she's going to go that far.
listen, I don't know if this is my
Expertise.
my venue
Are you allowed
to
to say
speak
this?
of, but Dana was saying like she's got like, you know, a haircut, like you would think she might be a lesbian and all this stuff. I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about, but apparently
You're like,
you are an expert on the subject, so I will just sit here and listen. But then they found out she does have a boyfriend, so the LBGTQ2 plus
Oh, they're not happy with
S4
But you have to-
we're on like kind of like come on,
Bummer.
You have to admit though that the first girl playing Rhaenyra was really
Oh,
good though.
they're
as well,
they're
right?
both excellent.
Yeah.
I'm not throwing shade
Yeah.
at I don't know her name. I don't know either of the
Millie-
actress's name.
Maylee Alcox, I think
Yeah.
it's something like that. Yeah.
And the girl, the young Allison and the old Allison, you couldn't tell me that it's not the same actress.
I thought they were
like
it could have been the same girl
I think
too.
it
Yeah.
might be- or they got her older sister to play the same character because I thought
I
it was
really
the same
liked the
person.
Allison character. I liked her a lot. Yeah.
I just
Go
think
Team Black!
all
I'm all behind Team Black. Let's go.
all of the acting I just think is just so phenomenal.
Oh.
Even Matt Smith, like everything he did in episode 8 and 9, I don't know if he had like more than like maybe like 10
He didn't have a lot. I
lines
was
of
just going to say he
dialogue.
didn't have a lot of
had
dialogue.
any
yeah.
dialogue, and he wasn't in
just
9.
has such a screen presence. Like when he stepped in front of was it Aemond in episode 9 at the dinner table, he just
Yeah.
like stepped
Yes.
up and like he didn't have to say a word and it
And-
was over.
and
It
by
was
the
like,
way,
there was no
Aemond, the one with the eye patch,
Yeah.
he looks like Matt Smith. I'm
He
like,
does with that chin?
I'm like, how did
That
is
chin
this,
is
how,
exactly
would this- how
his
did he not
chin.
get this guy cast as one of his kids? Because I
He's
mean, I guess he's
he has the exact chin.
he's,
I was
he's
like,
his
wow.
uncle, but still, he
Yeah.
looks like he'd be one of his kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, who knows? Maybe Damon was messing around at some point.
But that would mean he was messing around with,
His-
Allison, I
Yeah,
guess,
exactly.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
which I guess could have happened.
But yeah, like everything with him, and then like the quote unquote execution in episode 8 with him,
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
spectacular.
Oh, yeah.
Just like
That was great.
all the actors, just
Yeah.
nothing but praise.
My favorite meme of the week was "Hand of the King, Foot of the Queen." I love that one. Seeing that,
I
all
love
over the place.
Larice.
He is such a scumbag.
I'm a fan of
Listen,
Larice,
as a
dude.
person with foot issues, I don't get the foot fetish, man. That is gross. Feet are gross.
I'll put it out there. I'm team foot.
No, I'm anti-foot.
Brian,
Is it a 18-year-old Korean girl's foot?
It was Allison's foot. So
It was Allison's foot.
It's pretty
It's
nice
probably
foot.
a young foot, so that's fine. Yeah, young feet are fine.
White Worm's foot. That's close enough, right? Wasn't that her
She's
name?
got to be White
she-
Worms. Wasn't she
Isn't that-
like
she's,
the
was she
spy?
Asian?
But wasn't
she's
she?
the one who had Aegon's location, right?
Yes.
But she was
correct.
also Damon's side piece in the first episode, so she's
Yeah.
got to be like old now, right?
Yeah, she
I'm
did.
just saying her
she-
feet are probably like craggly now. She's older.
Damon's aging like fine wine.
I know.
So, I mean, you know.
These kids are aging up, and he's like staying this. He's like Matt McConaughey in Dazed and Confused. I stayed the same age.
I think compared to the first like couple episodes, they gave him a little bit of wrinkles, just like a little bit. But I think just the contrast between him and how Viserys has just like this horrible degenerative disease just makes him seem like
he
just
aged
a
the
fountain
worst
of
by
youth.
far.
I hope
And
they're
by the way,
already
I got
filming
that
season 2.
I got that line wrong. Matt
I was
McConaughey
just
kept
thinking
getting
in my
older.
head. I was like, yeah.
The girls stay the same age. Yeah,
Did you see
sorry.
me? Did you see me thinking it? Because
Well,
I
I
was
said
thinking
it.
it.
As soon as I said it, I
then
was
I
like,
gave
wait,
up
that's
because you
not
started
right.
talking, and I was like, I forget what I was just started listening
Rings
to
of
Diaz.
Power is filming season 2 right now, currently though.
They are filming
confirmed.
already?
Rings
Okay.
of Power. I don't know about House of the Dragon.
I
I
was-
don't know where they're at.
I believe Yellow Jackets season 2 is filming right now. So if you haven't watched Yellow Jackets season 1, I'm throwing that out there too. Watch it, man. That's good stuff.
You got anything Korean to talk about, Brian?
No, my last recommendation is the next season of Ghosts, the American version.
I've seen the
came
commercials
out.
for it. I've never
What's
watched
that CBS show? Ghosts?
I don't know.
That one?
I watch it on HBO Max.
I was going to say it can't be CBS because I've seen commercials for it. Unless it's running during football games. Maybe that's how I
Actually, it's on Hulu now too,
But yeah, and a lot of shows are on regular.
and
stations.
it's a remake from a currently running British show with the same name.
I think it is a show on
really?
CBS.
Oh, it's a
right now,
British
a couple
show?
of the same characters too, but
Because I was seeing it when I was watching Big Brother. That would be. I remember seeing that advertised. So that's the only. That's the only way I know of it.
it's fun.
But I might. I don't think I've seen it on football because I've been watching the Red Zone. So
Well, the Giants were on CBS this week against the Ravens, so I watched that whole game. Go Giants!
how about them Steelers?
I don't want to talk about the Falcons.
Are you a Falcons fan?
I am. We're 3-3 surprisingly.
Are you from Atlanta? Are you
No.
from Georgia? How'd that happen?
I don't know.
Are you a Matt Ryan fan? Is that what happened? Were you a Natty Ice fan?
Well, I grew up watching Mike Vick highlights, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's awesome." And then he went to prison, and then,
He started
and then
killing
Matt
dogs.
Ryan got drafted. I was like, "Oh, I kind of like him. I'll see what happens." And
Yeah.
then the rest is history, you know.
I would say your best bet is to jump on the Giants bandwagon now. They're on the upswing. It's time to jump
Can't do
aboard.
it. I can't do it. It's been like
That's what he's got his
16 years.
allegiance though. He's stuck with them. You know what I mean?
The
He
worst things ever.
when is football over?
It just
February.
started. It's only like the first month.
Feels like it's been on forever.
Oh my God, there can't
Oh,
be
it's
enough.
so great, dude.
When the Giants are good, I love football, man. Week after week, I'm like, I can't wait. I started listening to like sports talk shows again and ESPN. I haven't done that in a decade.
Did you give your last recommendation yet or no?
I did think of one that I didn't have yet. That I wanted to bring up. I don't know if this was brought up on any of your other mini pods, but Werewolf by Midnight.
Oh,
Werewolf
we
did.
talked about
We brought
that
it up
last
last
week.
week.
Yeah.
I really like that.
That
But
was
I think
really
Brian
good.
lost
Yeah,
that mini.
I brought
so
it
we have
up.
to talk about it again.
Yeah, I brought that up last
okay.
week. Yeah.
Brian lost that mini. That was a Dana mini. He
You lost it, really?
Yeah.
You mother father.
He recorded sex acts on top of it.
Oh,
So
no.
Dana's gonna be so mad.
I know.
So yeah, I thought it was.
Dana, come back over. We need you on another podcast.
Thought it was really
She was
good.
really good.
Very like the pacing. I thought it was just short and sweet. It was just like
Yeah, it was like
barely
50
an
minutes.
hour,
Yeah.
yeah, that was
And,
really good.
acting was good. I would like to see like something more with that.
I said the
like,
same
do
thing. I'd love
more
to see more
creative,
stories.
I think it should be
Yeah.
a Halloween special every year.
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Don't do 8 episodes. Don't do a
Nope.
movie.
One 50-minute special
Yes.
every year.
Yeah, if
That's
they
all I
built
want.
upon that little by little, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be really
And
nice.
I think somehow Werewolf by Night is tied into Blade and I think Moon Knight, but I don't know that for sure.
and the Werewolves of London.
Well, maybe American Werewolves in London.
That's also where can you find us, Brian? Spreaker,
Spreaker, exciting and new podcast.com.
Instagram, exciting a new podcast.
That's why
right?
you should do the outro.
I tried to set it up. I was trying a different way to do it. It didn't work this week, but you can find us everywhere: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere. Like I said, everywhere you get your podcast. The exciting and new podcast. The Jazoo on Instagram, Jazoo74 on Twitter. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy, AE Gonzo 1970 on Twitter, 19 AE Gonzo 1 on Instagram, or maybe
Or flip-flop,
backwards on
yeah.
that.
And I'm Brian, Papa Bad Kitty.
And I'm Connor. Variance Reviews on Instagram.